So I recently received a package in the mail from Hancy Creations, full line stencils, and let's see what we've got. I got lots of templates. And some marking tools. So I did get one of their ultimate marking pencils. So these you can mark with and then iron them away, which is really nice to have, especially because I do a lot of wall hanging, so I don't wash them. So being able to iron it away is perfect. And a little pencil sharpener to go with it. And this was really well packaged in this big foam roller. I think I'll actually leave it in there. And then some information on a few quick tips for how to use their stencils, which is always helpful. And then let's look at the stencils that I purchased. So the first one is the Ponderosa Border. So that's just a tree border. I wasn't 100% sure which stencils I wanted to use on my upcoming quilts. So I purchased a few different stencils. So this one is 3 trees for the border. And let me grab the quilt that I'm thinking of putting these on. So here's the quilt. And I'm thinking that these could go down here in my blue border, which would be super cute. Or I've got some other options as well. All right, so my other patterns that I got, this one is just a Stipple Meander. It's 15 1/4 by 9 1/2, so it's nice and big. I already have the pounce pads, so I did not pick any of those up to go with these stencils. But there is the Meander. And you can see that they've got the points to mark so you can get everything lined up really well. Tape is a little off. And that's the Meander. I figured this was a great one to have just for any quilt that I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with it. Next, I have Cloudy Skies. This one is also 15 3/4 by 9. I like these because if they get them wrinkled, you can just give them a quick iron and it smooths them back out. So here's Cloudy Skies. And this one I'm going to be using on this quilt in this blue section. So I'll only have to lay it out once. That's awesome. Make my life nice and easy. So for this one, you've got your starting point here or here, depending on which way you're going to go. And you're just going to follow that. I always like to do like a practice run with like my finger to kind of get the feel for how that is going to feel on my quilting machine. I am going to free motion quilt on my domestic machine. I don't have a long arm. But I think that's going to look really great. And then here, where my ends don't quite meet the end of my section, I'll probably just do a little extra bump or just kind of pull it off and then bury my ends under my border. So that's going to be really cool. I like that one a lot. And it looks just how I expected from seeing the pictures online. The next one I have is the Woods, which is a tree pattern that kind of is similar to the Ponderosa border that I showed you. But this one is a fill instead of a border. They even suggest pairing it with the Ponderosa border. This one is 8 3/4 high by 14 3/4 for the repeat. So this one's going to go down here where my hills are in this yellow section. So I am going to have to repeat this one just a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, if I was doing a large quilt, I would have to anyway. And so I actually think this one is going to be harder to do than the sky pattern, that cloudy skies, just because it's got more straight lines. But I want to give this kind of a forest look and then up on the top a sky look, because for this pattern, we are putting a moose, some trees, and a bear. Yeah, that'll be easy, but not as easy as the sky. I find the sweeping motions are easier than doing the straight line motions. But I really liked this pattern for this quilt. So that's going to go down here in the yellow. And I'm going to do it in a green thread, and then up here, I'm going to do it in a blue thread. I also purchased Japanese water. I did not end up putting a pond or anything in this pattern. So this one's more for future use. I do like to make landscapes and quilts with animals in them. So I thought this one would be good. Not as large. This is a tight meander. I don't see the dimensions on this one. That's okay. And you can see it's a lot smaller, tighter of a pattern. But it's got some swoops and it looks like water, and I thought that would be great because I'm sure at some point I'm going to do a scene with a lake or some kind of water in it with some of my animal applique. So I thought that would be great for giving it some texture in the future. The last stencil I purchased is Roaming Bears. So if I don't do the Ponderosa border with the trees, this is the one I'm going to pop on the border of this one, if I can get it open. This one I just absolutely loved, and I'm going to make more of these quilts with bears in them. So this will get plenty of use, but I'm thinking it might look really cute in the border. So like down here, you just get a bear tushy and just bear feet on this one, but you do get a couple full bears, and loop-de-loops are just like the easiest shape to do. So I'm either going to do trees in the border of the bears, or I'm just going to do straight lines around the edge. So don't know which one I'm going to do yet. How is it in the corner? Let's see. We start in a corner. I still only get a partial bear because of the way I'm going to be quilting this. The other option would be just to chalk the bears and then connect them with my own loop-de-loops, but I don't know if I want to do that this time. So I'll have to think if I want to do the bears, the trees, or just stitch in the ditch. But those are the super cute quilt patterns that I got to fill in on the quilt that I'm working on now, which we're going to quilt later today.